a few years ago, I subbed for the band Periphery. And it involved learning 10 of their songs. They're a progressive metal band. 10 of their songs in what was really 2 days. And a lot of people ask me, how was that possible? I'm going to show you how that's possible. So first, I'm going to show you how it's possible, how it's actually not that remarkable. And I'm going to show you how you can do that too, or be ready to do that too. This is also, it's not just about, preparing to get the random call for your dream gig. This is also just going to make you a more versatile and creative drummer. So check it out. I've scanned in my actual charts that I wrote out in my notebook when I needed to learn those songs. There's a blog about it online. It's one of my most viewed videos. There's a blog where I start the blog right after I get the call from Matt Halpern. And then I document the process of learning it, and there's a bunch of footage from the show. And actually, after that blog, we ended up going on to play several more, I think it was a couple weeks, maybe just a week together, several more shows together. So it was really fun to continue the process. Anyways, so I've scanned in these charts, right? The Way the News Goes, Prayer Position, Motor Mouth, Marigold, Mile Zero, Graveless, Icarus Lives, Loon, and that's all. And then I have this app called RhythmBot that a student and I made. And it's basically just a random rhythm generator. Look, if I keep pushing this little black button at the bottom, it keeps giving me new rhythms. It's like infinite flashcards, the best possible tool for learning to speak the rhythmic language fluently, develop your rhythmic fluency, your rhythmic vocabulary, as I like to say. So I'm going to show you how we can use a teeny little piece of these charts and RhythmBot in combination to create the best possible exercise for developing your rhythmic vocabulary, aka your ability to read notation, your ability to learn songs quickly, your ability to be more creative and generally versatile as a drummer, and at the same time simultaneously build your technical ability to play those things. Because it's great if you understand rhythmic notation. That's the root of all creative drumming. That's the most important thing that's overlooked by almost every drummer that prevents them from being creative and improvising. But you also do have to develop the technical abilities to play the stuff. Not most people's problem, interestingly enough, but we're going to talk about how they work hand in hand. So one of my favorite songs from Periphery is The Way the News Goes. And I particularly love the outro. It sounds like this, and here is the transcription. This is just the kick and snare part. Here's what it sounds like. Right, so we don't really need this right now, but just to give us some context here. Oops. Hello, marker. This is where the backbeat is. Then there are crashes happening on quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm looking at this line here. Ignore what's above. So we go doom doom doo ga doom. Doom, 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 ga, boom. That's all we need. Let's stop right there. Let's figure out how we can extract these little chunks of vocabulary and build our rhythmic vocabulary. Take a look at this right here. Green's not very good. Let's do red. This right here. This is a chunk. What we can do is go over to the RhythmBot. In here we can go complexity, custom groupings. And then watch, I'm going to find that chunk over here. It's right here. Okay? It's a dotted 8th note and a 16th note at the end. 1, doom, da, boom, ba. That's great. Then we can look at this second piece. What is that? It's just the So it's this dotted 8th note rest right here with just a note on the last 16th note. This next chunk is the same as the first one. This next chunk is the same as the other one. Okay, not that much variation here. This is a new piece. That's 1E, Let me find 1E, 1E, There it is. And then we've also got this lone E. This is 1E. That's that one. And lo and behold, we already saw. This right here is just a quarter note. Just a big old 3. Select. So I don't need to be able to transcribe this whole song. I took 2 measures, and I'm looking at these little quarter note chunks, and I'm going to RhythmBot, and I'm selecting them. Now, when I click confirm, it's going to only give me those chunks. right? So it's just taking those 5 pieces that we just chose, I think there were 5, and it's rearranging them. It's giving me infinite flashcards with this type of rhythm. Now, look, when I click this, it just keeps giving me more with these types of rhythms. So it's going to give me infinite grooves that sound a little bit like this groove, right? Because it's way more important than learning this groove is learning how to play all sorts of grooves, come up with grooves, learn grooves, transcribe grooves, read grooves that use these pieces of vocabulary. This is what it feels like to expand your rhythmic vocabulary, your fluency in the language of drums. And in this case, since we're taking it from a song that we love, it's particularly focused on the type of vocabulary that we're going to find creatively useful and fulfilling when we can improvise with it and write cool parts. So now if I push the play button, it plays for me. Whoa, that's fast. Okay, let's slow that down. Sorry. Okay, here we go. Yeah. See, I already set, look at this, look at this. I went in here, I went to the groove settings here. I set it to play back with a quarter note on the hi-hat, which is what we have, right? Over here, we have quarter notes playing back, and then a halftime backbeat, which is what we have in the actual groove. So now it's really basically playing what this groove is using the same pieces. Now, listen again. Here we go. Great. Next. Come on. That's an awesome groove. You can hear it's kind of like the song. Next one. Get out of town. Every single one of these is going to sound cool. And it's also going to sound a little bit like this one that's in the song. Let's see how this works with a different section. So this is a double bass section. It's a bridge. It sounds like this. Okay, so this second one was really hard for me. The kick drum pattern is right. Just that part was really awkward because my left foot just wasn't good. So we can do the same thing here, right? If we take a look at the pieces that are involved here, there are only 3 pieces of vocabulary. There's this, do-do-do. There's doom-doom, 2 eighth notes, and there's this, doom-do-do-doom. Same thing down here. That's right there, that's right there, and right there, that's right there. There's just those. That's it. So we can go back over to RhythmBot. We can select those 3. We go over here, complexity, custom groupings, clear, eighth notes, do 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 do, and do 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 do. Confirm. Infinite flashcards for practicing this, and I can listen to them played back. So this one, do 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 do. It's a great groove. Next, dum dum do 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 do. Next. Come on, if you did this every day for even just 10 minutes with your double kick, after a few weeks, let's call it a month just to be safe, you'd encounter this transcription and you'd be like, I can play that, that's easy. That's in my wheelhouse, right? So to go all the way back to our initial idea here, how is it possible to memorize this stuff? Well, if it's already easy for you, the vocabulary that's already in your wheelhouse is easy to memorize. We all have the same ability to memorize stuff. It just depends on whether or not you actually have to do the learning. Right? There's a big difference, and I talk about this at the end of the blog, between memorizing and learning. Memorizing stuff, we're all pretty much the same, relatively the same at doing. I certainly don't have a particularly good memory for memorizing stuff. This was just easy to memorize because I could play all the stuff already. I didn't have to go learn, right? If I can't play the double bass that fast, I have to do the tedious days, weeks, or months of building my double bass speed. If I'm not familiar with the types of melodies that are being used, I can't just decide to know them and therefore memorize them. Right? So my rhythmic vocabulary has to be right up there with my technical abilities so that when I encounter interesting rhythms, and there are many interesting rhythms in this kind of super syncopated music, I don't have to go figure out the theory and the notation and learn them. It's already baked in there. So that's the work we're doing right here. And I can keep doing this forever. I can even turn on a reading mode. And as it plays, it'll keep cycling through. So it's infinite sight reading, right? So then look at this. Now watch the first line. It changes. Rest. Yes, a rest. Just for fun, you can go over here, the space knob. Turn the space up. Now there'll be more space. There'll be more quarter note rests. Look at that. Well, not here, of course. Come on. These are all awesome. They're all awesome, but more importantly, this is the work you do. This is the best possible tool, the most powerful tool for expanding your rhythmic vocabulary, which makes you a more creative drummer, versatile drummer, a better improviser, a better composer, and also, coincidentally, ready to get a call for a gig that plays some complicated music that you like. RhythmBot is an app in the App Store. My student, Jamie Howard, and I made it for exactly this reason, to be the most powerful tool for helping drummers develop their rhythmic vocabulary and become more creative on the drums. Check it out. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.